the needle on the record.
Finds Barrett. Get a shot up. This is for the win. Oh! Let's go! Off the window! RJ wins it for the Knicks!
All right, everyone. This is Tim with Online Big Blue. We bring you the best of New York Knicks sports talk entertainment. It's been a while since I've done a Knicks video, so we thought we'd jump on the mic and do one today. Because we see the Jazz. Will they? Can they? Would they? Should they trade Donovan Mitchell? It looks like the possibility of a trade is back on. You got the Knicks, the Heat, and the Nets, all potential destinations for the 6'1" guard out of Louisville. It's interesting. It's an interesting scenario. You figure the Jazz at one point you assume they were going to retool instead of rebuild. It looks like now they may be going with potentially a full rebuild. Now, there are some that believe that the Knicks trade is in the works, that the Knicks are working on a trade, that they're going to put their best foot forward. Some even believe that the trade is inevitable going to the Knicks. I'm not seeing, inevitable is a big word. Of course, he was over at the, what was it? He was at Citi Field the other day, or back in June, taking some batting practice. He probably has a New York state of mind. He's got 3 years guaranteed left on his 5-year, $163 million contract. The deal also includes a $3.17 million player option for 2025-26. So he's not going to come cheap. He's going to come expensive. But you know what? It's a conversation the Knicks should be willing to have. We have a plethora of assets. You got 11 first rounders and 11 second rounders. You figured there's going to have to be some player movement involved. There's going to have to be something there in reference to making the contracts work. Will we be getting rid of Julius Randle? I don't know. Could you have to move on from Evan? Oh dear me. Let's trade Evan. Let's get rid of Evan. They're going to have to take on the Jazz is going to have to take on one of the Knicks' bad contracts. Just to make this deal work. Just to make it work. Julius, of course, is making around 23. Barrett's around 11. We're not getting rid of Barrett. Derrick Rose is 14. Evan is 18. You got a couple other guys making fewer than 6. You got Obi Toppin and Cam Reddish who are making 2.5. So, you probably have the pieces to make a trade like this work if, and that's a big if the Jazz aren't looking for a young player in return. Now, as you know, the Knicks can only trade, which is funny, they can only trade 8 of their first rounders that they have because you are not allowed to trade consecutively your own first round picks. That, of course, is courtesy of the Knicks, that the league had to put that rule in eons ago because the Knicks had always had a propensity of just trading multiple picks at once. So the league said, whoa, you're bad enough as it is. Let's stop this and turn around and say, you can only trade your own pick every other season. It would be an interesting fit. But so you could send 8 first rounders if you really wanted to. I wouldn't send 8. You could send 8 first rounders and then maybe Julius Randle and then maybe top in a young guard such as Emmanuel Quickley. You got Quentin Grimes you can throw in there. You can chuck in Obi Toppin, but I'm not going to give up Obi Toppin if I'm giving up Julius Randle. Then you would have the backcourt, of course, of Brunson and Mitchell. That would be devastating to the East. That really would. Because if you could figure out how to keep RJ Barrett, if you could figure out how to keep Emmanuel Quickley and the likes of Obi Toppin and try to figure out and create a system around that backcourt, and I think Tibbs could easily do that. You are looking at an upper level playoff team. You're not looking at being in the play-in. You're not looking to be in the top 8. You could be a 2 seed or a 3 seed. That's how good that backcourt could be. But the problem is, like I said, you're going to have to make the salaries work. You already signed Jalen Brunson. So you're going to have to play 2 point guards in the back together, which is not unfathomable. I know some older Knicks fans will point to the Starberry and the Stevie Francis experiment, which failed miserably. And you also still have some youngsters in there with Grimes, who's going to take some shooting guards minutes. So you have maybe could have put him in a rotational option with Donovan, move out Donovan over to the shooting guard position. It could be, like I said, it could turn the Knicks from a developmental team to a team building on young talent to a team trying to move forward and turn them into a contender. And that's a big thing for me to say, because I have a problem with these big trades. I've been burned by being a seasoned Knicks fan. I don't like to use the word old. I like to use the word seasoned Knicks fan. I like to, I've seen these trades backfired on multiple occasions. You also still have the Nets out there saying, well, could they send Kevin Durant over to the Jazz? I don't think Durant would go to a rebuild. I just don't see it. I don't think he would be happy. I think he would force his way out. So a logical explanation, logic will tell you that if you are in a rebuild with the Jazz, the best way to rebuild this team is to gather multiple assets. And like I said, the Knicks have those multiple assets. Now, of course, they can't move on to they can't trade any of the players that they've currently signed, so that won't be able to do that towards the middle half of the season. But like I said, it's interesting. It's interesting to talk about. It's an interesting dichotomy to think about. Could it potentially happen? It's the Knicks. So with something, like I said, with the Knicks, you never know what's going to happen. But I don't know. Like I said, Utah to me is they're just playing too wishy-washy. 1 minute they're doing a rebuild, 1 minute they're not doing a rebuild, 1 minute they're trading one star. Now they're reportedly open to trading Donovan Mitchell. Next week they may not be open to putting together anybody. But like I said, the rumors are right now that the Knicks are trying to come up with a package, trying to come up with something. If you give away all your picks and we can't keep Randall, but if you give away all your picks and you keep RJ Barrett, you keep Emmanuel Quickly, and you keep the core, the young core, and get Mitchell, I'm down for it. But we just kind of wait and gotta kind of wait and see what happens. This is going to be an interesting Knicks season again. And again, this is Tim of the Online Big Blue. We'll bring you the best of New York Knicks sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you're ringing that bell, you know what it means, that'd be awesome.